Okay. Let me get it together, okay, while people come in the room. I did some channeling today, and I was actually able to get some channeling until my cat sneezed and scared the mess out of me. Okay, I also have some updates. Okay, I got updates on that case with those girls in the suitcase. Now, I channeled them too. I channeled them first, and I kept getting interrupted and pulled with Nancy. Okay, so let me tell you what I got from the channeling with the girls. With the girls, I got, I kept feel like I was seeing tents. Okay, you know, my vision isn't too clear when I'm doing this channeling stuff. Okay, and it looked like multiple um two tents. Okay, but then when I thought about it later, it could have been those dark holes that they were dug up. Okay, I also heard they put us into, and I couldn't hear the rest of the sentence. Okay, good evening, Sin. Hey, and then I also heard abuse. Okay, I heard abuse. Okay, now since we're on that case, we're going to stay right there because they have arrested. They arrested the mother. She's only 28 years old. The girls have been identified. Okay. Oh my God, this is crazy. But we're still going to do some cards, okay, on them. Here's what I got, okay. I even took pictures. Okay, let me see, make sure I get everything. The mother, let me tell you something. They lived 100 feet from where they were found. And I knew, okay, and I think maybe one of the neighbors probably said something. Okay, they went in there, uh, investigated, and they found evidence of the two girls. So they took the mama in. Okay, wait till you hear this. Remember when I yesterday when I was doing cards and I kept getting those three guys? Three guys. I kept getting those. The three guys came up. Excuse me. I didn't keep getting three guys came up. Okay, and we're like, that's the culprit, or there was three men involved. Okay, I think what that is the three baby daddies. Okay, three baby daddies. One of the baby daddies of the deceased girl, the younger girl, one was 8, one was 10. Her name was Amor, and the other girl's name was Mila. The mama's name is Aaliyah Henderson. So you can look her ass up. Aaliyah Henderson, 28 years old. Oh, let me show you the picture. Got a picture. Hold up. I do have a picture. This is the little girls. Okay. That's the little girls. If you look closely, you can see one is laying down and one is sitting. The one in the blue is sitting up. Oh no, the one in the blue has her knees up. Okay, the pink next to her is her sister. This looks like pictures of them. They look younger on here. Okay. Oh, and if you notice, okay, it looks like somebody is in the bed next to them, is laying next to them in this white. You can look like you can see their legs. Oh, look, okay. I am okay. You can see her legs bent right here. Looks like an adult. Okay. Sorry about the all over the place. Okay, so then we have oops, slide. There go the mama. There's the mama. Okay. See what else I have. Okay. So basically, the mama put them in suitcases. She lives like 100 feet from the field, the open field. Okay. And she just dropped them off, buried them or whatever. Okay. And went back home and got into bed. Okay. She has a third child. The third child, okay, I take it that the third child is younger, but they took the child out of the home and arrested her. Hmm. Yes, you guys, give a thumbs up, okay? Yes, okay. They had on the news the baby, one of the children's fathers, the girl's fathers, okay, was on the news. They didn't show his face, but he did talk to the news people. And he told them that he had been trying to locate his daughter. Okay. He said the thing with it was he said he contacted, I don't know if he said he contacted CPS and uh 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 the child support people, okay, whatever. He said he had made some contact. I don't know how much of that's true. Everything is alleged. Everything's alleged, okay? Yeah, what is wrong with people? And he said that he had tried to get his daughter. He said that he had told her if it was too much on her, that he would take the little girl. Okay. I mean, he probably was going to take it and have his mama help him take care of it, but still, okay. He said what made it hard to locate is because she kept moving around. She kept moving. This is what he said. Okay. He was out there, he was crying. Yes, okay. And so I'm pretty sure that they got information that she had daughters, okay? Because she's right there in the neighbors, okay? And they probably went and knocked on her door and asked to see her kids, and she couldn't produce them. But she was right there, and the daughter's father, Amor, she's the youngest one. That was her dad. He said that He said the thing about it is, he said she came, she didn't kill them girls. Okay, we don't know how true it is that she killed them. Okay, but she knows they're deceased. Okay, that's another thing. When I was channeling the girls, my head kept hurting. My head kept hurting. It was funny because I was wondering. I don't know if they suffered some type of head trauma. Okay, because of the cold weather, the coroner said that he's got to look at closer as to a time of death. Because, like I said, when the bodies are frozen, okay, in the cold like that, we it delays the decomposition. But they were decomposing. They said they were decomposing, okay, and the dad said the thing about it was, he said she didn't sit up here and killed these girls, buried them right there. He said buried them right here. He was right there with the burial site, and they had placed, stuffed animals and flowers and stuff on each grave, okay, so to speak. And he said she puts them right here. He said, and she just went right there, went in the house and taking care of the other baby, knowing that her two daughters are right there, dead. So we're going to do some cards on her and see what her state of mind is, okay, and what's going on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But they got on that quick, okay. They got on that quick. I don't know how, but like I said, I think that the neighbors, okay, because if she had kids and she moved in over there, okay, they would have known. They would have saw the kids. Okay. So they put two and two together because see, they were knocking on everybody's door. You know that, right? They were knocking on people's door. And I'm pretty sure if you had kids, they wanted to see them. You had to produce the kids. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That is freaking crazy. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, Mila was 8 years old. Amor. I keep wanting to call her Armor. Amor was 10. So this was Mila's dad, not Amor. Mila's dad. And that's what I was telling you that they were half sisters because when you have different baby daddies, they're considered half siblings. If you have the same dad and different mothers, they're considered whole siblings. Okay? And it's something about the chromosome. I learned this in school. I don't know what was I in high school, junior high. I don't know what subject we were talking but anyway, I always remembered the teacher said that. Okay. It was something about family. We were getting into family and sisters and brothers and stuff like that in the family, okay? And what makes them okay? I don't know what we were talking about, but like, oh, they were sisters. He's like, no, they were half sisters, okay? Because they had different daddies. That's how that came up. Anyway. But as far as they're concerned, and we're concerned, they were sisters. They grew up together. Okay, we don't do that half sister and sister. Okay, when you living in the same house, okay, you grow up and you're sisters. Okay, but anyway, that's what that came up. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. You guys, thumbs up the video. Thumbs it up. I get the most thumbs up when I'm live. I really appreciate that. Probably because I remind the reminders. Yeah, it's sisters. As far as they're concerned, they're sisters. Okay, you can't tell them half what? But that's what I got on their case in their channeling. Okay, so far. Okay, and she's only 28 years old. So yeah, so they took the baby into custody, okay, and you know they're gonna be on that CPS. Did you know they jump on that? And okay, oh, and then somebody made it in the comments and they reiterated it on the news itself that there are a lot of kids that are coming up missing in Ohio. That's exactly what they said. In Ohio. Mm-hmm. Yep. Somebody made a comment. I got it in my comment section. If you look at the comments on the last live I did, somebody made a comment that there's a lot of missing children in Ohio. But this one just jumped out at me, okay, because it was recent and it reached out to me for some reason, like Nancy. That's right. Yep. And they didn't give out a lot of information on those girls on that case. They didn't give out a lot of information. Okay. They just said anybody with any information to call in and stuff like that. And uh and then yeah, and that too. Somebody made a call in because you know that the day that they found them and the next day, what's today? uh today is Thursday. I got to put the trash out. Yesterday was Wednesday. Okay. So they were going around right there in that neighbor, right there, where by the scene of the crime, the people who live right there, if they seen anything. And she lived there. So maybe she didn't answer the door. Okay. If you don't answer the door, girl, that you're not gonna get off because they coming right back. If you don't answer the door in an investigation, they go write down your address and tell that nobody answered. So they know to come back to your house because they gonna keep coming back until somebody answered the door. That part. Now we know that. Okay. We know that. So with that said, I want to throw some cards, okay, and some more true crime, okay. So the but but the cards did bring up the three baby daddies. Now, whether we took them as the culprits or whatever, it caught that energy. Y'all peep that. And with us, also it caught was I forgot. Okay. So anyway, it'll come back to me. But it picked up something else. Well, the thing about it is, you got to keep in mind, okay, yes, this ring has gotten so big, and it's not just one ring, it's rings and rings and rings, okay? And what happened is, it's a secret, okay? But the secret is coming out. It's just too rampant. Not to mention, okay, that there are a lot of women, parents, complicit in these child rings. Okay. Oh, and then in my channel, I also got some form of essay with these girls. I don't know how true it is, but it was a vibration. Okay. Right. The parents are going along with it. Okay. However, they're going along with it. And that's usually the case, like the case with the Sullivan children. Okay. Look at their mama. The mama, the daddy, the grandma, and the uncle all living there on that property, and they don't know what happened to them two kids. The police know they know. It's just the fact that they can't prove it, and they haven't found the bodies. Now, I channeled them. I channeled them. I certainly did. They were one of my first channelings, and I got the impression that they were moved. I got it. They were moved. Even though they were decomposing, they were moved. I also got the sensation of being rolled down the hill, like I was rolling down the hill. Okay. I also got the impression of playing in the yard, with a house where those swings are. Okay. I got the impression of the kids being back there. Now, those parents, they're on their drugs. I'm pretty sure this lady, she looked like a crackhead. I mean, they probably got her out to bed early in the morning, but still. Yeah, but that's what they want to do, but they don't have enough evidence, and they're not saying anything. Okay, the mom who was in the back bedroom. Okay, I feel that she has some suspicions that something went on, but she doesn't really know. She knows something. They her kids. She knows something, but she don't really know what, because she probably was in the back room high. Okay, see what I'm saying? Now the stepdad and even the grandmother, acknowledged that the kids were back there playing. Okay. She said she heard the dog barking or heard something. Okay. So she knew they were out there. I don't know why you have to hear the dog barking and you can't hear two little kids playing because they make all that noise. Your house right there. Anyway, and the stepdaddy saying that he was in the kitchen cooking or something, okay, and they were out there playing, and y'all don't know what happened to the kids. And if you look at the property is they ain't got no neighbors. They ain't got no real neighbors. You can't. There is no across the street. It may be down the road, but there's no across the street. Now, Nancy Guthrie, you got to cross the street, but no, not them. You look at that property, and you got the road and the forest, and that's it. It looked like that they cut out a piece of the forest, okay, cleared some land so they could put the trailers up there. Yeah. That's what it looked like. Okay. But yeah, I did channel them. Okay. hmm So now we're going to pull some cards and see what else comes up with these children. Okay. We did get the male energy, is what came up. 3 males. Okay. They were all in reverse. That's why we thinking they the culprit. They were in reverse. Okay. So they got issues like the mama. Maybe not the same. Okay. But they got issues. Okay, so we're gonna go with 78 stories. Okay, we're gonna go with 70. Oh, let's go with this crazy day. The glimmering path tarot. Even though you can't read that glimmering path, that's the word. The glimmering, or is it shimmering? Glimmering. The glimmering path tarot. Let me see. Let me see if I can get away. Hold on, before I get to saying stuff. Oh, this is the one that has the online manual. It comes with a book, but it's online. Yeah, it's sad. It is sad. But I am glad that I were able to identify the girls and get the mama. Okay? Because I'm gonna tell you why. They arrested her, okay, for the simple fact that she didn't even report them missing. They said that those girls have been there for a while, but with the snow, the cold, okay, they have to go take a closer look to determine how long those girls have been there. Yes, you made a live. Hey, Blue Rose Ramblings. That's what you said? Yeah, so they they she did report those girls missing. So that's just a violation right there. We taking you in. Okay. Not only are we taking you in, but we might as well charge you until we get, because you're going to jail anyway. You are going to be charged with something. Okay. And if they can't find anything, they're going to make something up. How about that? Okay. You're going to jail. You're going to jail today. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got the sun card. The kid got on some clothes. Okay, so we good with this deck. Okay, we good with this deck, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so the glimmering path tarot, but that's what it is. I hope that they don't let her out. Never keep her off the streets. That's a trip, isn't it? Hi, Darla. Darla, you on one today? You on $1? Okay, so let's see what the cards say about this case, and then we're going on to Nancy, and I'll tell you the channeling I got on Nancy. But that's crazy. That is so freaking crazy. Oh, and they're not going to treat her good in jail either. Okay, say, because those girls in jail, they watch the news. Hey, Kira. She said every day. Every day I'm on one. Okay. That's right. Why not? YOLO. Okay. So, what can you tell us about Aaliyah Anderson? That's her name. Aaliyah Anderson out there in Ohio, whose daughters were found deceased in a suitcase. Okay. Deceased in a suitcase. What can you tell? Oh, let me, because I see before I even get started. Hi, Roden. Is that Rodinia? Rodina? Rodinia. Oh yeah, she gonna get Big Bertha, honey. She gonna be working for Big Bertha, honey. She gonna be ironing Big Bertha clothes. Okay, she gonna go fetch whatever Big Bertha want to be fetched. Okay, and it ain't gonna be just Big Bertha either. No, it's gonna be because the women they put in the well, she's in jail. I don't know how that jail works. Let me shut my mouth. Okay. And Ohio, them people out there ain't no joke. Them people not no joke. So that's what we got going. Yeah, we gonna talk about Nancy Guthrie, okay? Because I finally found you know how you watch somebody on a regular basis, okay? And then they don't the channels come in on a regular basis and then they stop showing the channel. And I was wondering what happened to her. So she's a psychic. Okay, she's a psychic. And I from it looks like she hasn't been on here that much anyway, but she did do Nancy. She did do Nancy. I don't know the older Abu. Yeah, you got to parent the parent. You know what? Sad story. I wasn't gonna say anything, okay? But yesterday, we going through it. My friend I always talk to, okay? I grew up with her. We go way back. We go back to high school, okay? Because I moved out here in San Francisco. Apparently, she had not too long moved out here as well from Texas. They're a military family, okay? And I moved out here from, well, actually Sacramento, but I came from Wisconsin. Okay, so we were young going to high school, and when we met, and we've been friends ever since. Okay, and so now she's going through the process of being diagnosed with dementia. We don't know what kind, okay? She's been hiding it from me, and I wanted to kind of like reach out to her sisters, but I didn't want to overstep her, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And she works, and her job has been complaining. Her job called her sister. They said they wanted to talk to her family. hmm And I was trying to because I knew something. She was complaining, oh, they so bossy and they talking about I don't remember. Okay, but see, I didn't know her memory was that bad. Okay. I mean, I call her on the phone and I kind it wasn't well, recently, yes, it's perspective to the point that I had to tell her. I said, if I wasn't your friend, I wouldn't say nothing. Now you can get mad at me all you want, but I feel right, okay, in my heart, if I say something and you need to go see the doctor, I said, because something is not right. Because what it was she had asked me the same question like 5 or 6 times in this short conversation we were having. So now it's to the point where, and she stays with her son, and I kept telling her about the seriousness of this condition. I said, girl, okay, because she worked at Walmart. Okay. I said, girl, you will go to work and you get off because she gets off at night, 12 o'clock, midnight. Okay. I said, girl, you go home, you leave out from work and get in your car and you don't know where you at. You don't remember how to get home. I said, stuff like that, it just hits you. Okay. And I said, you need to go to the doctor. I said, because they do have medication. Okay. But they got to catch it soon enough. So I don't know. Okay. Now that this has all come down, which came down yesterday because she was crying and she's upset. But that's not the first time she cried. She's one of those people, she don't tell you the whole story. She does all that repeating. And I noticed the repeating years ago. Okay. Years ago, but it didn't bother. But she tell the same story over and over and over and over and over and over again. Ain't stop telling the same story. Okay. And now I'm picking it up and I'm all okay. But the reason her sister was telling her that years ago is because of this. And I didn't know that because she wasn't telling me all. She knew though. She knew, but she didn't want to hear it. And I've explained to her that that is normal. I said, your denial, okay, and making excuses for the condition is normal. People don't want to be People do not want to hear that they have dementia. They don't want to hear the D word or the C word. They don't want to hear it. Okay. And I told her denial, making excuses and all that. I say that is normal. What you are doing is normal. But you need to see the doctor. And I said they have medicine that will slow it down, but they got to catch it in time. And I don't know if they caught it in time. I think it's too late. And see, I noticed years ago, let me see, we started really talking. Well, matter of fact, before I even move out here, I've been out here for 8, almost 10 years now. So um, I noticed it before then. But I'm talking on the phone to her. We're talking on the phone because we both are in California, but she lives in Northern California. I was in Southern California. Okay. Now I moved. Okay. But let me see. Southern California. So sheesh, girl, that was like, oh, this is like 15 years ago. Okay. And one thing I learned, and I learned it off of YouTube. I don't know what I was watching, or maybe I was reading it. Okay. But they were talking about people who repeat, okay, are likely to get dementia. People who keep repeating stories. No, she won't. Well, she's going to have to accept it because now it's gotten so bad that her sisters are having to make sure that she gets home from work. I didn't know that. You see what I'm saying? And then she would cry. She would because her bills weren't paid. She ain't got no money and all this. And she's like, cry. I don't know what. And she forgot to pay this bill. And she's like, it's not that I'm mad. I'm just frustrated. So, okay, I didn't think anything of it. I forget a bill here and there. Okay. And she would be crying. So I don't, okay. It was, yeah. Yeah, they tell it like it's the first time, like they haven't told you. They don't remember. But she's been doing this for, like I said, 15 years. Okay, and the reason why I didn't say anything is because I didn't. You don't want to say something like that to somebody. That's not something you say. Okay, this is not something you say unless you know better. Okay, I didn't know better. I'm just talking to her on the phone. Oh, she fell out and oh, okay. Well, she's not falling out with okay. She was upset because now that the job, okay, and the job had said something before, okay, and she had mentioned it. And I said, you need to see somebody because now your job. And then, she'll say to me, like the people, and she's been late for work and she didn't used to be late for work. And they're like, she like, they got coming in there. They got, well, okay. Oh, Joy, you made it to work. Oh, you late. Don't worry about it. I'm late. She talking, the Walmart employees, some of the Walmart employees. Okay. I told her, I said, I said, you didn't used to be like that, honey. You like them, the rest of your coworkers. But anyway, I started thinking about that, okay, and how she kept mentioning. I said, well, maybe because I'm thinking I said, now I know you can say it in a nicer way than that. And I'm like, then I started thinking, it clicked to me. My intuition kicked in. And I said, well, you know what? I said, maybe they noticed something and they're not saying anything to you, but they're just asking you, okay, are you all right? Because they noticed something. Yeah, I know. And now she's upset and she's crying. Now she went to work. She said she went to work today. I called her because I don't think she should have went. And see, when I did tell her, when I finally did tell her, this was months ago. Okay. And she even she got a notice from Medicare that they were, she needed to apply for Medicare because she's at that age. You turn 65 and they'll hit you up, okay, right? But she's older than that. But still, they hit her up, okay. And I told her, I said, well, you got to apply for Medicare regardless. There is no other medical, okay, unless you want to pay separately, okay. Medicare kicks in at 65, no matter what, okay. So I told her, I said, well, ask your sister who's always been helping her. Now I see why, to help you with the get online and do that Medicare, right? Oh, I'm gonna do it, okay. And I ain't heard about it, okay. So come to find out, she mentioned it to me, but she didn't mention the way because I finally talked to her sisters yesterday. And they're telling me, and I'm like, oh my God. Yes. She's forgetting to give the customers their money, their change. She didn't tell me that. This is the way she told me. She said, okay, she just made a comment that, and I don't be forgetting to give nobody their change. She didn't say that the job said she was forgetting. Okay, she just made a comment. I don't be forgetting to give nobody no change. They change. Like, okay, so they're not complaining about that. Okay, I'm cool. But they were complaining about that. That's crazy. Yes. Sydney, Australia. Oh, you're from Chicago? I'm from Wisconsin. We neighbors. I'm not in Wisconsin, but I'm from Wisconsin, Milwaukee to be exact. Check it out. Yes. Okay. So I had mentioned it to her sister the other day, and she said, because like I told you, the supervisor called. She said, no, the supervisor said that she's forgetting to give the people their change. And I'm like, I didn't say anything, but that's not how she presented it to me. She didn't say anything about their concern, okay, at the job. And I told her, I did explain now. I said, now, if when you go to the doctor and if there's something, they do diagnose you with dementia, I said, they're going to take your driver's license, right? I just let her know. So lately, she's been talking about getting lost. Oh, I was lost, and I said, yeah. I said, but, and I turned around and I was, and I realized where I was and I went on home. And I said, okay, so your recollection was quick, so to speak. I said, but the thing about it is at nighttime is not the same as daytime. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So when I talk to the sisters, they're like, no, she's been getting lost a lot. I pray for you some healing, girl, okay? Yeah, I went through that with my husband when he was with cancer. And yes, it was the treatment that was worse, okay? He wasn't complaining, okay, until he had the treatment. So you make so you have to pick, okay? You have to pick uh um but he was at stage 4. So, yeah. But anyway, so that's where I'm at with my buddy. And oh, my friend, I'm just like, oh, my buddy. We like Gilligan and Skipper. Okay. It's got to be scary. So now she's going to have to give up her place to stay because she's been independent for all these years with her son. I said, allow your son to help you. But she don't want to hear that. See what I'm saying? She don't say nothing. But I can tell she's very dismissive. And the thing about it was, I noticed something was wrong because when I was talking to her on the phone, he kept coming up to her about paying the rent, paying the rent, paying the rent, or paying the rent. And the sister said that she had got some money out of the bank, and then she was turning around talking about she was broke. She didn't have no money, and she got to go to the bank. And we like, she had $300, she said, in her purse. She had put there, and I'm like, oh, that's dementia. Oh yeah, it's kicked in. Yeah, stage 3. Yeah, stage 3 is localized. It's just big, and they got to shrink it. Okay, but stage 4. So anyway, yeah. So I just wanted. Okay, I didn't mean to get into that story, but since y'all so nosy, I thought that I would share that. So I don't. Now she has to go to the neurologist. She has to go to the neurologist. She said, "Well, oh yeah, well I'll get an appointment in a few weeks." And I said, "No, a few weeks? No, you need to go like yesterday." Oh, and here's something you guys might want to know, okay, that I learned. The doctor told her sister that because they're going to need to get power of attorney for her, okay? And she says, and she's got to go to the neurologist so she can find, I guess, so they can find out what type of dementia she has and what they can do, if there's anything that they could do and all this kind of stuff, right? So you got to get that medical diagnosis. And she told her, she said, but she needs the power of attorney. So make sure that you get the power of attorney before the diagnosis, because then they'll try to say, oh, she was crazy when she signed that, she wasn't in her right mind. You know what I'm saying? They try to refute you. So you want to get it before the diagnosis. Yeah. So I just letting y'all know, okay? Something you learn, you don't trip off of, but it makes sense when they tell you, okay, in other words. But normally, yes, you wouldn't think of it. So yeah, you don't want to wait. Yeah, you want to get that power of attorney. Hey, Hannah. Hey, Hannah, I'm Anna. Okay. Yes. So we're gonna ask the cards. Okay. We're gonna ask this deck. Okay. About Aaliyah Henderson, the mother of the two girls, the mother of Amor and Mila. Amor and Mila. What can you tell us about the mother, Aaliyah Henderson? Okay, Aaliyah Henderson. And so I believe that the father who came, uh, the Mila's dad, okay, so I guess he's gonna do a DNA or something like that to make sure that he's the dad of the daughter. Okay. Um, I forget why, but yeah. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, and that's why I say don't shoot the messenger, because I will be the messenger. You right about that? Because I'm not gonna tell you wrong, and I'm gonna try to get the information right and tell you right. And okay, thank you. Okay, so what do you want us to know about Aaliyah Henderson? That's the mama's name. Okay, of the two girls who were found in the suitcases in Cleveland, Ohio. And thank you for your answers. Oops. What do you want us to know? So we're going to go in and we're looking at the energy for the mother. What the cards will tell us about Aaliyah Henderson. What do you want us to know? Oops. Oh, she messing up already. Okay, so on the bottom of this reading, is the Three of Cups in reverse. That is definitely not a celebration. Definitely not a celebration. Okay, this card talks about overindulgence. Okay, now that I think about it, this is the drink too much or get high too much card when it's in reverse. Okay, Four of Wands. So there's some plans being made. There's some plans being made, and it might be for the girls a celebration of life. The Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so it's being worked on. I don't know what this has to do with the mom, okay, because she in jail as we speak. What is this? The Eight of Pentacles. Okay, talks about skill and determination. The World. Uh-oh, this is the World in reverse, you guys. Okay, it's not over. It's not over. Page of Wands. So there's a message. So something else is going on. Something else. Queen of Pentacles. There go Queen Money. And this message, this Page of Wands, is facing the Queen of Pentacles. So this is somebody young. Oh, so we have supposedly a wealthy woman. There's a story. There's a deeper story. We got the Hangman. So it's being looked at in another perspective. It also can represent a delay or being stuck in the planning. In the planning here, the Hangman. Yeah. The Five of Swords in reverse. Okay. So the Five of Swords, okay, in reverse talks about avoiding conflict. But it also talks about deceit and regret. Okay. Behind money, behind work. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So that's going over the world. So the family is not happy. And what should be abundance is not abundant. Yeah. There's definitely some disharmony going on. And the Five of Pentacles. So this Page of Wands is over the Five of Pentacles, being left out in the cold. This is disappointment and loss. The Chariot. The Chariot is going right here with the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this talks about traveling. Now, I don't know if this is referring if the Queen of Pentacles was the mama, because the guy said that she kept moving from place to place. She kept moving around, making it hard to keep up with his daughter's location. We have the Two of Wands. So yeah, there was some plans. We got plans with the Four of Wands, and we have plans with the Two of Wands. Okay, there was some plans, but with the Hangman, there was a delay. There was some interference going on. The Nine of Wands. Okay, winning at any cost. Okay, and there's deceit hanging over that. Ace of Wands. They're going to bully stick. And this is in relations to the family. And then there's the Devil. The Last Judgment. Oh, this has a, I don't know what the Last Judgment would be. Or the Last Decision. Page of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. It's funny how this page of Wands and this Page of Pentacles, they look like two girls, and let me show you, okay? Because they actually look older. One looks older than the other. You see that? Now, I don't know what the other little baby is. The other little baby, if the other little baby's a girl or a boy, I don't know. It don't even matter. Okay, they need to get the baby. And the Hierophant. Yep, the government's involved. The government, swift action. Oh, yeah. The government's involved. So I wonder, was the government or the CPS involved? Did she have a case? The Seven of Swords in reverse. She tried to get away with something and she got caught. And that's going over the devil. Oh. She tried to cheat the government. Okay. She tried to cheat the government. She tried to cheat the government. That's why she didn't report them kids. Okay. Because however they were deceased, okay, she was collecting that money. If she was collecting money. But yeah. The Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. So there's going to be some more action. you ain't lying, okay? You're not lying. The Eight of Wands coming in, okay? With speed. The Moon in reverse. So that there's some secrets. There's some secret on this Page of Pentacles. Okay, one of the young kids. There's some secrets that's going to come out. We also have the Sun. Yeah, the Sun. And the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, okay, is going right here over the Hierophant. And the Ten of Wands in reverse. And the Six of Cups. So there's information that's going to come out quickly regarding these children. So we're going to get more information. Okay. I also get the impression that she's going to try to lie. Okay. She tried to get away. The kids may have been a burden. Okay. The kids were a burden and she dropped them off. The Ten of Wands in reverse. That's a load that's too heavy to carry. You got to drop it. Drop it. Okay. That right there is going over the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Swords in reverse. Deceit. Okay. The devil. So it's going to be revealed. It didn't tell us about this woman as far as personally, but it did tell us that there's some deceit and there's lies. She tried to get away with something. She got caught, okay? And she's still going to try to get away with something, okay? So what I want to do is I want to go in with the 78 stories, actually 79, because you got another extra card included. One special card. I think this is the one with the extra lovers. The Judgment in reverse could mean leaving the past behind. Well, the thing about it is, okay, she tried to do that. She tried to get away with it, okay, but she got caught. And the devil's in the details. Okay. So um and the fact that she didn't report it, okay. You know, let me ask, okay. Let's see what they tell us with the 78 stories, okay? It looks like this. What happened to Amor and Mila? Can you tell us what happened to the two girls in Ohio that were found in the suitcases on Monday evening at that? Uh-huh. Walking his dog. What do you want us to know? What happened to these girls? Can you tell us what happened to them? Let's see. What do you want us to know about how these girls died? What happened to them? What caused their death? And thank you for your answers. What do you want us to know? What can you tell us? At the bottom of the reading is the 7 of coins, okay, in reverse. Okay. 7 of coins in reverse. That is a loss. Bad investments, okay? Anxiety, impatient, and losing faith, okay? That's how they put it, okay? But monetarily, it's a loss, okay? We have the lovers in reverse, okay? So the lovers in reverse, the lovers can represent an agreement, okay? But in reverse, of course, there's a disagreement, a divorce, a separation, okay? So she wasn't with the baby's daddies. She got 3 kids, and I don't know about the youngest one, but the 2 that were found in the suitcases, she's not with them. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, that is bad karma. So she didn't have good relationships. Okay. The 4 of coins in reverse. So she let go. Okay. And the Hermit. She's by herself. She's by herself, I assuming not getting any help. I don't know. Okay. The 5 of Cups in reverse. So she got away from the kid's father, okay? She wanted to be alone to get some clarity, to think, as they say. Five of Cups in reverse. Yeah. But we have the High Priestess in reverse. So there were some secrets. And we have the Page of Swords in reverse. There go Chatty Patty. Chatty Patty telling the business. Somebody was cheating or whatever they was doing they wasn't supposed to be doing. Chatty Patty told it. And it wasn't good. Chatty Patty. The Ten of Coins. Okay. Are all the cards in reverse? No. Okay. The Ten of Coins. Loss. Chatty is back. Chatty is back. And then we have Judgment. Okay. Now, Judgment is going right here over the Hermit. Two major arcanas. That is telling us, okay, that these cards hold power. And we got the High Priestess in reverse. So the Judgment is giving me the feeling like a decision. A decision was made. Okay. Now the Judgment is facing the Ten of Coins, the loss. Okay. Uh, um, okay. Family disputes and instability. So basically, they were dysfunctional. It was a dysfunctional set. Okay. And we have the King of Wands. We got some male energy coming in. Okay. Over the Five of Cups in reverse. So check it out. The Five of Cups in reverse talks about letting go. Okay. And it is over the King of Wands. The King of Wands, he let go. Or she let him go. He gone. Uh-huh. This is someone who is self-confident, okay? Judgment is not facing him. He's facing judgment. Okay. He's facing judgment, which is facing the dysfunction in the family, okay? And he's got letting go right there on top of him. We got the Hangman, looking at it in a different perspective, okay? And the Two of Wands. So Chatty Patty was making plans. She was looking at something else. That's what it sounds like, okay? Yeah. And I'm saying Chatty Patty as the mama because Chatty Patty, the page, yeah, because she was a young mother. She was a young mother. Ten of Cups. We got an unhappy family going over a happy family. Catch that tea. So, but, okay, we have loss. Okay, and the loss is going over the abundance. Okay, so she lost a lot. There was a lot of loss. We're not gonna say she lost a lot because we got the King of Wands in here. We got Chatty Patty. We got the High Priestess in reverse. Okay, and yeah. So we have the 10 of coins, loss, okay, going over abundance, which is 10. So there was a lot of loss. And we have the 8 of wands in reverse. And it's kind of giving me what I'm getting. I know you could get something else, but what I'm getting is it was a bad decision. It was some bad actions. Okay, it was not good. We got the okay, yeah, yeah. So we have the 9 of coins. Okay, wishes fulfilled. That's going over the King of Wands. Oh yeah, and look at the King of Wands. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, he on the phone, he chit chatting. Okay, he about that life, and he is walking forward. He is walking forward. He is walking away from all this. He got money on his mind, and his mind on his money, and his money on his mind. Okay, and we have the Hierophant in reverse. So we have the government, and this right here is going against the government or the institutions or whatever, not doing what you need to do, being hard-headed, going against the grain. So he might have been selling some dope. I don't know. Because if I were to put this card over here, he would be facing the Hierophant. And I did say his mind on his money and his money on his mind. Okay. But anyway, like I said, he was thinking about making some money. And we had a 3 of coins. Okay. So yeah, he was and he wasn't by himself. He was a man with a plan. And we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay. So now here we come with another masculine energy. And then this Knight of Cups is in reverse, meaning he's emotionally immature. He get mad. He's quick to anger. Okay. What do we have? Jealousy. Yeah, insecure. So we have a secure man and we have an insecure man. We have the 9 of wands. Okay. Yeah, he was insecure. He was defensive. And we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So with the 8 of Swords in reverse, I get a feeling of somebody lying. You know what though? The kids, if they were 9, if they were 8 and 10, they was old enough, yeah. They were old enough to know better. You know what I'm saying? They knew that they wasn't being treated right or whatever was going on, okay? And they may have threatened to tell. Okay, the Ace of Swords, okay, represents delays and setbacks, miscommunication. Then we go with that Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, yep. And that's the government. Once again, going over the government, somebody trying to get away with something, okay, and getting caught. And we have the Nine of Cups. Abundance, wishes coming true. And the Magician in reverse. That's going over this Knight of Cups character. This gentleman is a uh, king. So he's older than the knight. So this is a younger gentleman. And we have an Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Coins. So the Ace of Coins, and that's looking at the Ace of Wands, okay? So there's going to be some big news or something coming if it hasn't already come in. Ace of Coins. You know, I get the feeling that these somebody was out to make some fast money, trying to come up, as they say, trying to come up. Okay. And then she got this other man, okay, that's even worse than the first one, so to speak. Okay. That's what that sounds like. We got to come back to this case. I want to move on to Nancy. Okay. Now, I was channeling Nancy. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, you guys. Thumbs up. Hey. Okay. I did some channeling, okay, because Nancy kept coming in, okay. And what I got with Nancy was village. I heard the word village. I saw that there were multiple people. I also heard the word investigators, and I heard someone say you found her. That's it. I don't know what it's about. This is what I'm telling you. What I heard and what I saw. That's okay. We're on to Nancy now. Okay. That's what I heard. Now, I was listening to Candace. Her name is Candace Starr. That's the name of her channel. And she does the psychic one. And she was channeling in on Nancy. Savannah was at studio and the staff was falling apart. What do you mean falling apart? In a bad way? In a what? And she probably, I thought she quit the Today Show. Oh, crying. Yeah, I mean, it is sad. But it was interesting. If you guys, let me type her name in the, oh, wait. I keep thinking this is a touch. Okay, Candace Starr. Oops. That's her name. Okay, that's her channel. And she did a session on Nancy Guthrie. And she was talking about, now I will say that she was in line with a lot of other people, okay, as far as her being moved. Okay, she was moved. Um, I get the feeling she passed right away, but she was saying, yeah, look her up. But she was saying that she hadn't passed right away. She was suffering, but she hadn't passed. Okay. But she did make an interesting observation or comment when she was channeling. And she was saying that they were deciding on where to put Nancy. If they were going to hide the body so it would never be found, or if they were going to put the body somewhere so somebody could find it, so give them some leverage or something. They removed the pacemaker according to reports. Where you hear that from? How they know they removed the pacemaker? I do get the feeling though, like she said though, that these people are over here and Nancy is over there. Okay. I do get that feeling. Okay. So now I forgot the question I wanted to ask. She may have been taken to some room. Okay. Here's my thing, okay, with this case is if she passed, if she's even passed, she could have passed not too long after she was taken, which is my impression. Maybe she could have been, it was longer. Either way it goes, she was taken somewhere. That's the impression I get. I don't get the impression that uh, if she was dead or alive, that she was taken and dumped off somewhere. I get the impression she was taken somewhere. Okay. Yeah, we're talking about Nancy right now. Hmm. So I'm going to ask 78 stories. Okay. Can they tell us the energy with Nancy Guthrie today? What is that energy like today? What's going on with Nancy Guthrie? Okay. The whole chit and chabang. Okay. And then two is like in the readings, okay, it's like these people around this lady, even her children, okay, You have skeletons in the closet, so to speak. Because everybody's coming up with something to hide, trying to get away with something. Something. Okay. Because the Seven of Swords don't just pop up for nothing. And the High Priestess. Anything could. Well, the thing about it is, we know what would happen. Somebody took her from her home. Now, if she was alive in the process, okay, which it appears to be, but maybe all is not what it appears. She can't be found. Right. Well, and I was listening to somebody's podcast, and they were talking about, everybody was talking about them bumbling the case, so to speak. And they were talking about that they had to go back to Nancy's house on four separate occasions to collect evidence that they had not collected. And one of them was one her car. Nancy Guthrie. I know I keep saying Nancy Grace too, but no, Nancy Guthrie. No, it wasn't Nancy Grace. No, no. I used to watch her, but I stopped watching her for some reason. I don't know. But um yeah. And Mr. Nanos probably has whatever issues he's got going on. And in this particular case, okay, he's got a point to prove, but this is not the time to be trying to prove any points. The lady's missing, and she could possibly be deceased because she's wearing a pacemaker, her health, and all this, okay? And you want to be large and in charge. Oh, I watched Ashley. Yeah, I watched Ashley. But no, it wasn't Ashley, it was a man. But there's so many people jumping in on the bandwagon. It's crazy. I mean, they got AI videos all over the place. Okay. So what can you tell us about this energy on the missing Nancy Guthrie? Okay. What do you want us to know about the missing Nancy Guthrie? What can you tell us? And thank you for your answers. Patience. Got to be patient. Two of Swords is in reverse. So there's been a decision. King of Swords in reverse. Now, you know who that is, okay? For me, okay? So it's like a decision has been made. So I think maybe the sheriff has made a decision, or the police, okay? The stairway to light is in reverse. Oh, that's the extra card. And the stairway to light, okay, being in reverse is not good. and it's next to the King of Swords in reverse. Judgment. And the Four of Coins in reverse. Okay, so it's like the King of Swords has made a decision, okay, and the stairway. I gotta concentrate on that one, okay. But yeah, he's made a decision. Here we go with the Judgment, and it may not be good judgment, but it seems like he's made a decision to let go. Maybe he's made a decision to let the FBI handle it. The Magician in reverse. Okay. There's not too many tricks left. There's not too much they can do right now. We have the Hangman. So he's looking at things in another perspective. Okay. Four of Wands. Okay. There's some plans being made. Downstairs. Yep. The Queen of Coins is in reverse. Now, the Queen of Coins is usually my Nancy card. The page, there go Chatty Patty. The page. Chatty Patty in reverse. Let's see. Okay. Looks like they don't know what direction to go in. The Hierophant in reverse. It's not looking good. This is the energy, the Three of Coins. Okay. Teamwork. So they're working on it, but they don't have too many tricks. Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is going over the Four of Wands. And the Knight of Wands. I could also take this too as some of this is telling me that they're running out of leads, okay? The government. Over here is telling me the culprits, okay, have made a decision, okay, and he's looking up where he's going to drop Nancy off at because Nancy is upside down. So he's thinking, he's looking, okay. The King of Coins is in reverse. And Chatty Patty is over the King of Coins. Now the King of Coins is the head honcho. He the one with the money who's telling everybody else. And Chatty Patty looks like she is going to let go. See, because Chatty Patty is naive. Chatty Patty is the one who be telling all the business, but she doesn't realize that she's telling on somebody. The Eight of Coins. And they're working hard. They're working hard. The Six of Cups in reverse. So it's like we got the sheriff here, okay, and he's working on it too, but he doesn't want to let go of the past. Okay. And I don't think he has all that experience. That department has experience in a case like this. Not in that jurisdiction. Nine of Swords. Somebody is having sleepless nights. Somebody is stressed out. I'm getting different energies. And the Five of Wands, okay? There's conflict. So there's some conflict around Miss Nancy. Maybe they're having disagreements about what to do with her. The Star card in reverse. Now they say the Star card represents hope. Well, it's in reverse. So there's a lack of inspiration, okay? Things have gotten monotonous. The Queen of Swords in reverse. Ooh, look like they working on somebody. This is disappointments, okay, and feeling trapped, okay. She's having a bad day. This also gives me the impression that they are working on somebody And they're not telling us who that is, but they working on them. 10 of Wands. Okay. So there's a load here. There's a burden. We'll say a burden. And the burden, okay, is to solve the case. But we got the devil in the details. And that is not good. Okay. The devil in the details. We have guilt, manipulation. Okay. And this is going along the lines of the Page of Wands. The World. So this conflict, this decision, okay, with Miss Nancy is coming to an end. It's coming full circle. It's coming full circle. And then we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords. It deals with conflict, okay? But he doesn't look too happy. He looks like he lost. So that's what we have. Okay? So what I am getting is that, and this is along the King Money, okay? He's feeling a loss, and it's not a financial loss. It is a loss of what they set out to do. It's not like it's a loss of money. It's a loss of whatever, a battle. Okay. It was a battle. So what I wanted to ask was, these people that took Miss Nancy, okay, they know each other or of each other. They're connected some kind of way, okay. Is this a cult? Is this some kind of cult? What can you tell us about the mindset of these people? Is this some kind of cult? What do you want us to know? And thank you for your answers. There's stuff going on behind the scenes because, like I said, see, all the people that are out there, okay, there never were going to be out there, okay. You have people doing different things, taking fingerprints, collecting certain kinds of evidence, okay, doing this, doing that. You got all kind of people who have specialties in their field, and they're out there. Once they collect up what they're going to collect up, they're gone. They got to send it off for analysis and all this kind of stuff. He hushed a bit because they know he hushed a bit because everybody told him to shut up because they told him he talked too much. Barney Fife. No, she didn't call him Barney Fife. Even well, he lived out there, okay? They ran in the same circle. You know that, right? Okay. He ran in the same circle. Okay. But the thing about it was he didn't start off like he should have. Okay. We all know that you got to tape off the scene of the crime and collect evidence. Okay? And if you really was looking out for the family, you should have put somebody out there to make sure that nobody came on the property or whatever and interfered with the evidence. That's Crime Stoppers 101. Okay. Good. Oh, and that person that I was telling you I was watching, they also said that they should have had a path. They should have had one path that everybody had to go up there and back, so that they wouldn't be stepping on evidence or whatever, contaminating it. Not a good pick of the little girls. Okay, so is this a cult? These people, okay, what can you tell us about these people who have who are in the Nancy Guthrie abduction? Who are these people? What do you want us to know? And thank you for your answers. Who are these people? Mm-hmm. Yes. I be trying to do it real fast, like I be seeing those people do. I don't know how they do it, but anyway. And if I do it, the whole deck is gonna fly out my hand. It ain't gonna be no few cards. No, honey. Uh-uh. Who are these people in Nancy Guthrie's abduction case? The star in reverse. Okay, so this talks about uninspired. Okay, oops. Oh, what's the next card? The Three of Wands. Plans. It says project process. Yeah, that was the next card. Okay. Judgment. Who are these people? Judgment. The Hierophant in reverse. Now, this judgment is going to the past. So these might be people who have a record. The Five of Coins in reverse. Okay. This talks about regret, poverty, and loneliness. Okay? The Moon in reverse. Five of Swords. So this is getting me the impression that these are people who don't have good judgment. They're poor, okay, and they like to creep in the night. Conflict. Page of Cups. This is somebody young. Keeps getting that Page of Cups. Page of Coins in reverse. King of Coins in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse. Five of Cups in reverse. Okay. Now, this Page of Cups could be a boy or a girl, okay? But I'm taking it as youngsters. We have the King of Coins, an older gentleman, and we have the Knight of Cups. So we have this masculine energy, and this looks, I'm okay, I'm getting four males. But this could be a female. This could be feminine energy upright. If it was in reverse, it might have been masculine. Okay? The Chariot. Okay. The chariot represents control. Okay. But this chariot is headed in the past, just like this judgment. So there's like there's something going on with the Page of Cups from the past. Justice in reverse. And he's pointing at the chariot. It wasn't me, it was him. So I'm getting the impression, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised, okay, if the sheriff was familiar with these people. He may not know that they did the crime, but he's familiar. They've broken the law before. The Four of Coins in reverse. Uh-huh. And the King of Coins, okay, is letting go. He's letting go of people, places, and things. So he's letting them go. But we got the Seven of Swords in reverse, okay? And that's going over the Knight of Cups. So somebody is getting caught. Knight of Swords, okay? Yeah. Somebody is stressed out. It looks like this Knight of Cups, okay? A younger man. This is somebody who's probably in their 30s to 40s. This could be somebody in their 40s to 50. Okay. And the other ones are in their 20s. Okay, is what I'm getting. But or I'm getting this in this thing. Okay, so so basically they're all stressed out. This is not going over one. This line right here, there's no person, but it's in everybody's row. And the devil. Yep. These baby kids. They don't die, they multiply. And the four swords in reverse. Mm. Oh, four swords, like four people, and justice is in reverse. Mm, mm. Justice, not judgment. Let me see what it says about justice. So this talks about uh, corruption. This talks about dishonesty, legal delays, and lack of accountability. Seven of Cups. So this king of coins, okay, in his madness, because he's in reverse. In his madness, he could be delusional, you guys. Oh, letting go. Okay, four of coins in reverse. So that's like a loss. So maybe he's losing it. With the seven of cups, okay, he's losing it. Five of coins in reverse. Yeah, he's losing it. Now I don't know. Well, it's seven of cups and it's cups. Okay, maybe he's losing his mind. Page of wands. Here we go with another page. The page of wands and the knight of cups are right here touching the seven of swords, trying to get away with something and getting caught. So we got two people. The ace of cups in reverse. Sadness, madness, okay? The six of coins in reverse, okay? This is somebody who's stingy. Mm-hmm. And the ten of cups. There goes that stairway to light in reverse. The ace of swords in reverse. And the three of cups in reverse. So this is telling me that these folks is all mad, they pissed, okay, they arguing with each other, they stressed out, okay, and my concern is the justice in reverse and the hierophant in reverse. Well, the sheriff The sheriff seen that he had a high profile case. So he wanted to be large and in charge because this was in his jurisdiction. Okay. He's not used to this. See what I'm saying? Okay. He's not used to all this attention and being on the TV and doing this and that. He's okay. So he's large and in charge. Okay. But at the same time, he's suffering the death of his brother. Now, I don't know how him and his brother got along. Okay. Because the only reason why he came back is because of this case. I'm thinking. It's definitely a stressful case. But the thing about it is the stress is on both sides of the spectrum here. That's the thing about it. And the man on the porch, okay, may have been a decoy. He knew that camera was there. Okay. He knew that camera was there. That's why what he walking around with a ski mask on if he didn't know the camera wasn't there? He knew that camera was there. He just decided that he was going to cover it up while he was taking the fumbling with the camera. And for who knows, okay, it may have been somebody else on the side, okay, that he was protecting from the camera. He was hiding from the camera. So we call him dumb. Let's ask this. Okay. Since we asking questions, who mess who messed with the cameras at Nancy Guthrie's house? Who disabled the cameras? The camera system at Nancy Guthrie's house. Who messed with those cameras? Who messed with the cameras at Nancy Guthrie's house? What do you want us to know? Who messed with those cameras at Nancy Guthrie's house? Can you tell us? And thank you for your answers. The cameras at Nancy Guthrie's house. At the bottom of this reading, the King of Cups in reverse. At the bottom of the reading. Somebody who's insecure and frustrated. We have the World card. It's the first one that comes up. Okay. Well, it was a complete job. I tell you that. They accomplished what they set out to do. Ooh. And it was the ending of one thing and the beginning of another. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Shut up. Jealousy, dishonesty, and manipulation. Eight of Cups in reverse. Eight of Cups talks about avoidance. Six of Swords in reverse. They wanted to avoid who was coming and going. They didn't want you to see. Well, duh. Okay. The Hangman in reverse. Ooh, the Hangman and the World. Ooh. So we have indecision and delays. Ten of Wands. Is going over the Death card. Page of Pentacles in reverse is going over the Queen of Pentacles. I mean, the Queen of Wands, excuse me. And the Strength card in reverse. The Knight of Swords in reverse. The Ten of Swords. Woo! Ten of Cups. The Star card in reverse. Temperance. And the King of Wands. So it looks like there was more than one person that dismantled those cameras. And my trouble is the Hangman and the Ten of Swords and the World. Let me look some of this stuff up. Ten of Swords, the Magician in reverse, and the World card. Oh, sheesh. Wrong man. Okay, I said the Hangman. I meant the Magician. I meant the Hangman. The World card, the Hangman in reverse, and the Ten of Swords all touching each other. Dang, gonna hurry up and hang up. Oh, it said Ten of Swords. Hold on. The World card and the Hangman in reverse. Oh, wow. This talks about a frustrating, stagnant period where you are refusing to let go of old patterns, preventing necessary closure or completion. Okay? So this World card is the end. But with the Hangman here is interference. Okay? And then we have the end. So it feels like a feeling of being stuck in a situation. Okay? We have here the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Ooh, and the Death card. Oh, so the Death card, okay? The Death card is over the Ten of Wands, the end. It's the end of a burden, okay? And everybody was, I guess, supposed to be happy, happy family with the Ten of Cups, abundance. So, that looked like the ending of a loved one to me. It said love. Okay. The Ten of Cups, love, harmony, and divine connection with the Ten of Cups. But we got the death on top of it. So it was the end of it was a burden. Oh, we got the Queen of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, okay? And the Star card is in reverse. This could be a mother and a daughter, a mother and a son, okay? Who lost faith, lost hope. We have the Eight of Cups, okay? Strength in reverse, okay? So they were tired of waiting. Then we have the Six of Swords in reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse, and the King of Wands. So this gives me the impression here is not being able to move forward. When I was channeling, okay, like I said, I got the impression of people in that house. I'm not seeing clearly, but I definitely feel people. It felt energy was all over the place. Okay. I didn't like that energy. It was all over the place. As crazy as it sounds, and it is, and it does sound crazy, but my interpretations, even though I didn't mean to go this way, I was looking for who dismantled the cameras, okay? But that happens often, okay? They tell me something else. And what it seems like they're telling me, okay, is that somebody was feeling stuck. Somebody was feeling stuck. Somebody was feeling that they could not move forward, okay? That's the energy I get. That's what this stuff is telling me. Somebody was feeling stuck. Now, here's the thing about knowing the road. Okay, the family. I don't feel that if her kids or any of her children had anything to do with this situation, it was not a direct connection. Okay, I don't feel like it was Tommaso on that porch. Okay, I don't. Let's see. Okay, wait. I'll be right back. I got to go pay my water bill. Y'all stay right here. But I want to know, did Nancy make it home? Did she even make it home? Or did she even leave? Because the timeline that we get may not have been the time that she was dropped off. Now the Uber man can verify that he picked her up. Okay. But they can't verify when she was dropped off. They're just going by what time the garage door opened, okay? What time did he say he dropped her off, okay? But that may not be necessarily, okay, the case. The church folks, okay, the church folks, which is a cult, okay. I mean, not literally, okay, but a lot of people don't realize that those churches is a form of a cult. But anyway, that's just a general statement, allegedly, okay. But I think the church, okay, was recognition that she was not there. They need to get this party started, okay? Because they're not going to wait for the letter to come in to realize. I think the church situation was a reason to say, well, they called me and said she didn't come, okay, and I went over there. I'm pretty sure they verified it, okay. She went over there in an Uber, okay. But what I'm saying is, how do they know when she got back? That blood that was on the front porch, that didn't even have to be the day of the crime. That could have been from another day because they dismantled the camera and they don't have no subscription. They didn't have a subscription for that camera to film anything. That's why they can't get nothing on the camera. You know how sometimes you'll go in, okay, and ask for some camera footage just for the owner of the store to tell you that camera don't work, and it never did work. They never got it fixed. They have the neighbors, okay, but they don't have anything viable that we know of. They may have something that they're not saying, okay, but you got to look at that property, okay. You have to look at the property. Now, it was a full moon. So, the full moon, one thing about a full moon is the full moon lights it up. So, it may have been dark, pitch black, but it wasn't that pitch black on a full moon. It wasn't. And the way that these properties are set up, okay, if you look, there's a it's a neighborhood, but it's not a close neighborhood. Just like there's people across the street, but look how far the street is. She got a driveway that you in and go up to her door and drive around and go out the other on the other side or the other, of the driveway. Yeah, they're not close. Not to mention, you got to look at all the foliage, okay, all of the stuff that's standing up around them houses and stuff, okay. That's the thing about that, okay. Then nobody can see. You can easily stand by in front of a tree and not be seen. Those two photos that they recovered was from Google. They didn't recover the photo from the camera. The camera gone. Yeah, well, this is more than cactuses. Have you seen an aerial view or whatever? Yeah, I'm like, gee, all the trees out there and stuff like that, as dark as it is out there, you walk in a tree and wouldn't even know it. No. Yeah, but even if they had lights, what I'm saying is the distance and all the stuff, the greenery, okay, and them houses, okay. This isn't your average neighborhood, okay. These are the neighborhoods down there in Arizona, out in the desert, where they have nothing but cactus and trees and stuff and whatever plants that can grow in that type of weather. You see what I'm saying? They had cameras, but the cameras was probably facing their property because their property ain't right up to the street either. And if there's some that are closer to the street, her property stands back from the street. It wasn't that they had the cheap camera, it's that they didn't pay the subscription. And they took the other cameras were disconnected. Who disconnected? How were they disconnected? They probably got head cameras on their house too, but they couldn't see Nancy's. And somebody went in there, somebody had a plan all along to go in there, okay? Because if not, they wouldn't have took the cameras. It ain't nobody, and I can't see robbers doing all that. And then the thing about it is, who knows if there was a altercation in the house? They could have did that to make it look like it. You know how many robberies and fights they stage, knock down the lamp and do this, and you know what I'm saying? It was a light. It was a camera that had motion, okay, because they picked up the guy on the porch. The light came on, okay, and so did the camera, but it didn't have a subscription. So when you didn't have a subscription, they don't save your stuff. Just okay, this just like, and they took the camera. She did not have a subscription on that house, nor did she have that camera set up to go to Annie's house. Because I would think that you would have some kind of connection where you could see on her property from your house. Oh, I'd had that hookup. I'm about that life. Hmm. Sure am. I'd had that hookup just for the hell of it. It wasn't set up with, and the thing about it was the way that it's set up. Okay, you can only catch stuff going by if there's not anything blocking it. Okay, she mainly had that camera to see who comes to her front door. That was the front door camera, okay, to see who's ringing the doorbell. And you can do that without a subscription. However, as far as the footage, it's not saved. It's not saved, nor does she have a card, a SD card to save it to. And even if she did have the SD card in there, they took the camera, which means they take the SD card because the SD card would be in the camera. Right, to keep an eye on my mom. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Especially, anyway. Girl, get me started. Now I done forgot the question I was going to ask. Okay. Well, you know what? She should have had what's that system where I'm falling and I can't get up? Oh, her drop off. Okay. Okay, I got it. Wait, hold on. Yep, her drop off. Did she get dropped off? That's what we want to know. Who dropped her off? Did she get dropped off? What's really on? Oh my goodness. Oh sheesh, I had delivery. Oh my God. I got delivery and I'm sitting up here talking to y'all. Let me see. Where's my delivery? I'm supposed to be getting something. Okay. Oh my goodness. What time is it? Uh Lord have mercy. It already dropped off. How did it go? 6 items? I thought I had 8. Oh man. Let me see what's going on here. Y'all got me just I'm just missing my snacks. Oh no, that's not what I bought. Pick up fried. What? They don't have my spinach. Okay. Anyway. Okay. I had to pay my water bill. I'm trying to tell you. Okay. I couldn't think clearly. Didn't they take the camera off the roof or disable it? They show police taking it. Yeah, that alert. Okay. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm trying to tell you. That was a nice house not to have that hookup. Okay. So we were talking about, okay, did Nancy, okay, Trying to figure out how I should act this. I did. I took care of that bill, honey. Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay. I try to figure out how I should form this question. Can you tell us what happened when Tommaso dropped Nancy off at home on January 31st? January 31st, in the evening, he dropped Nancy off. What happened? Tommaso drops her off. What can you tell us about Nancy being dropped off on January 31st when she was last seen? What do you want us to know? And thank you for your answers. When she was dropped off, what can you tell us? What can you tell us about that? Five of Swords, conflict. So there was some type of conflict. Yeah, it talks about loss, conflict, indecision. Ace of Cups. Okay. Talks about joy. She was dropped off. Okay. Oh, well, looky here. The generosity card. But we got the Nine of Wands in reverse. So she was weak. This says trapped. In the Moon. Interesting. Interesting. The Hierophant in reverse. Rebellious. Non-conforming. Breaking tradition. Wheel of Fortune. And we have the Page of Swords. Chatty Patty, there she yeah! In reverse. Page of Swords. The Strength card in reverse. So, like I said, this is weakness. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords. I mean, the Nine of Wands is by any means necessary. Winning by any means necessary. Okay, but it's in reverse, so it represents loss. And strength in reverse, of course, weakness. Internal conflict and internal conflict and now I just lost what it's 8 8 8 8. Yeah. Insecurity, lack of courage, indecisions. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So there was some type of teamwork, collaboration. Seven of Swords. Eight of Wands in reverse. The Knight of Cups. And the Chariot in reverse. The Ace of Swords in reverse. And the Two of Cups. And the Magician. And the Ten of Cups. Seven of Cups. And the Page of Wands in reverse. Wow. Probably so. Left the door unlocked. That makes sense. This here is telling me that when he took her off, when he took her home, okay, something happened when he took her home. Now, I'm getting that This was planned. Definitely was planned, okay? And that, oh, oh, that ride home with the chariot in reverse, loss of control, okay, smoke and mirrors. I wonder, was he drinking? Okay, but I'm trying to figure out how to form the question to ask. Okay, I'm telling you, there's some type of delusion, there's some type of deceit going on. Okay, there's definitely some deceit, there's some delusion. Okay, we got the magician, we got the seven of cups. Okay, we got the seven of swords. Oh, it's just too much. Okay, something is not okay. The thing about it is, whatever is going on in this situation, I tell you one thing, it's not what it seems. It's not what it seems. They want you to think she was kidnapped. I don't think she was kidnapped. Okay. But that's what they want you to think. Hmm. Um, and that ride home at night, the footage was removed. Okay. I would not be surprised that there was somebody already in the house. There was somebody already in the house when she went home. Whenever she went home, I wouldn't be surprised if they were already in the house, took the cameras and everything. Okay. They said, oh, that's what they said. They said that it looks like her locks were changed. They said that it looked like the locks on one of the doors was messed with, like it had been changed. Well, the thing about the story with the childhood game kidnap, okay, I don't think really that had about that story other than the fact that it could have given them the idea to use that as the cover up. But I don't think she was kidnapped. I think um, I think that the kidnap might have been an afterthought. Hence the reason why they sent the message to the news station, okay, instead of leave a ransom note. Well, if she's gone, it's murder either way it goes. Okay. But uh apparently no, they didn't want you to know it was murder. See, because it would have been it would have shielded too much evidence, okay? Because you would have been able to get a time of death. So if they said that they dropped her off at damn near 10 o'clock at night and she got there much sooner, you would be able to tell, okay? They didn't want you to tell, okay? They didn't want you to know. Hence, they took them cameras like that, okay, and all that kind of stuff, and disabled the cameras. It was planned. I think it was a plan, okay. It was some kind of plan. It was some kind of some BS, okay. But I don't think it was for kidnap. I think something might have went wrong at the house, okay. And she had a pacemaker. She had she had some health issues. She couldn't get around or whatever. Okay, so it could have been something. Okay, but they don't want you to see. There's nobody there, so you can't see. Okay, what actually happened to her? You can't do an autopsy. The cameras is gone. Okay, they could have just something could have happened to her at that house, like you said, and cleaned it up. Okay, or maybe they didn't have to clean it up. There might have been nothing really there to clean up. Right. She could have went to dinner, right, to dinner and had somebody there waiting for her. Okay. Already waiting, already at the house, which would have been a perfect time, okay, to let somebody in, okay, have the cameras taken. It seemed like it definitely was planned. Okay. It definitely was planned. But the thing about it is, okay, I would be surprised if he had something to do with it. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have anything to do with it. But it definitely seems like if anybody has anything to gain out of that woman's death, it would be her family. Okay. Uh, Maybe not intentionally, allegedly, okay, but they're gonna gain either way it goes. And then the gas stations by her house or whatever, okay. I mean, if they did all that planning, okay, believe me, they had a full tank of gas. That's the thing about it. They sent the ransom notes to two other stations, okay, that she didn't even work at. See what I'm saying? So yeah. And now they're sitting around, okay, worried because this has gotten a lot of publicity. There's a lot more people out there looking for her. People are on the alert. You see what I'm saying? And they told TMZ they probably wanted it. It sound like they wanted it to go public. They want everybody to know that she's been kidnapped. See what I'm saying? They wanted everybody to know. So smoke and mirrors, okay, smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. You can't go past the smoke and mirrors. You can't go past the seven of swords. Somebody's trying to get away with something. You can't get past that. It's obvious. Okay. But the only thing about it is, did he drop her off at the time he said he dropped her off? It may not even been inheriting the money. Okay. Like I said, somebody was burdened. Somebody was burdened. Okay. And of all the kids and people, the only people that were, I would think, that were burdened allegedly, okay, would be the closest, gets the mostest. Everybody else was living their best life. Meanwhile, you got the daughter down the street, okay, doing everything for mom, okay, as far as, physically and all that, you know. I don't know. I don't know their family dynamics, okay? But you know how you see it in families all the time, okay? Mama may have 10 kids, okay, but only one is really taking care of her physically. Everybody else, oh, we'll give you some money, throwing money at the problem. There you go. They may not even have met them. The pool guy, okay, he may not even have met them. Okay, he may not even have been the same pool guy. I don't know if he have his own business or what. This lady's been living out there for 50 years. Yeah, see. Yeah, but you got to realize too is those neighbors don't. I don't know, okay, because the neighbors don't seem like they know too much either, because they seem like they kept to themselves. Okay, everybody keep it to themselves. Nobody's really aware of the situation at hand. But I'm gonna get off of here. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, you guys. Okay, before you leave, give the video a thumbs up. Okay, but I'll be back tomorrow, and we can talk some more. And we're gonna throw some more cards, okay? And then I'm gonna keep you guys updated on the two girls that were found in the suitcases and the mom. Yeah, you don't know. Okay, this is crazy. I'm telling you, this is crazy. Okay, and the situation of how the evidence and this was handled doesn't make it any better. Mm, mm, mm. So, with that said, stay blessed. Bye.